Welcome to the Microsoft Tips Showcase, where we provide quick, single-topic videos on how to do something within a Microsoft 365 related tools such as SharePoint, Dynamics, Office, etc. These tips are brought to you by SV MacPack, a certified veteran-owned and HubZone consulting firm supporting primarily the U.S. federal government. In support of our customers' need to maximize the value of the tools they currently invest in, we started creating video tips. We hope these videos help you as well. This video is part of a series of videos introducing you to Microsoft 365 as if it's the first time you're seeing any of it. If you haven't watched some of the earlier ones, start with at least episode 15, which is the beginning of this series. We'll move quickly to keep the videos short. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go into Mail today, and so this is the landing page for Office 365, as you should be familiar with. And the primary app we tend to use in our organizations is Mail. So let's go ahead and do a quick introduction to Mail as it relates to Office 365 and Microsoft 365. First, just going up to the app launcher, I just want to point out you can get it right here. You can also access it right here on the home page by clicking on Mail. It pulls it up, opens up our Mail. This is pretty standard as you look at it. It is different than Outlook if you're used to using Outlook, which is more of a desktop tool, obviously. But it does have what you're looking for as you start moving in. So we'll explain some of the basics and come back later on in future videos and dive further into how to take advantage of Outlook on or email on Microsoft 365. So if you click here on More, you'll be able to see that it opens up a whole folder view. And this allows you, if you're used to folders, for example, I'm very used to folders. I like using folders to manage my data, my emails, just get them organized. So that stuff is really helpful. We'll come back to that in a second. One thing I want to show you, just in case you're not familiar with it, but if you do use Microsoft Skype, this thing is called a conversation history. And if you click in there, that's where you find any of the conversation you've had using Skype with any of your colleagues. So if I'm talking with Kathy and she and I are in different offices and bouncing back information through Skype, just instant messaging, Microsoft 365 retains all that as if it's just an email message inside of the Mail application here under Conversation History. So just keep that in mind. On your account, just come to Conversation History if you're ever trying to find that old instant message where somebody sent you a link to something and you can get access to that. I'm going to back up here because I don't need to explain folders too much at the moment. I did want to mention groups. As you start joining, and we'll show you this, as you start joining, you'll begin to get access to groups, and that's where you'll get access to a lot more collaborative information. So email tends to be to me, but in groups, the content or the messages that are being shared are designed more for the team to be able to see. So as you move forward, you can see the basic information. Same thing if you want to do email or calendar event or creating, like we said, a new group. The email messages are straightforward as you've done before. Just click on it, it pops up. If at any point you want to sit there and show additional information or see it, this is one of my favorite things to do, is just to be able to pop up an email into a different window. You have that option over on the right-hand side. So here you kind of get more of what you're looking for. But this is just like you would see in Outlook. You can manage your message, the content, formatting, et cetera, that you want to do if you want to insert anything. And then same thing over here if you want to be able to manage any of the activity. If you really get into showing from, that's because you're managing multiple email addresses. Let me go ahead and close this. And I'm going to take us right back to Office 365. Having a little hiccup there, so let me do it that way. Took you right back. So remember, if when you come into Office 365 and you get started with Mail, it's always right there. Or if you're on any other app, you can always find it on the app launcher in generally the top left-hand side there. That concludes this lesson. I hope you found this tip useful as you continue to use Microsoft 365 related products in support of your day-to-day job. Please provide me with feedback in the comments, letting me know how I can make these tips more relevant and useful to you, including suggesting tips you think we should create. Finally, if you found this review helpful, please share it with others on one of the social media platforms or just give it a thumbs up. I'm your host, Neil McDonald with SV MacPack. I thank you for joining me today and hope you'll join again for other tips.